Hey, I got the Sakuma drops! Ah! And then I got the Steel Ball Run! Ah! What's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite animes. And there are also a lot of other anime stuff that I got from Japan that I will do a video on about a month later. But today I'm going to be doing the top 10 best animes of 2022. Yeah, this is more so going to be a top 10 favorite animes of 2022 because there is no way in hell am I going to be able to watch every anime ever in 2022. There's so many animes released that I didn't have time to watch. Obviously, I'm in college now. I have a life now. I just don't have that much time. But I still try my best. So before getting into the list, I would actually like to do a quick mention of all the animes that I haven't watched. But if I had, they might end up on the list. Starting off, we have Tatami Time Machine Blues. This is directed by Shingo Natsume, who is the same director and writer for Sonny Boy. So obviously, if I'd watched this anime, it would probably end up in the top 5 or the top 3 or something like that. And also, this is a sequel to the Tatami Galaxy, and I haven't seen that, so sorry. I have to mention Urusei Yatsura remake. And yeah, even though I probably won't enjoy this remake of an anime all that much, but it is indeed a remake of a classic, and the cast of this anime is absolutely insane. You got some of the greatest voice actors of all times working on this. Kamiya Hiroshi, Miyano Mamoru, we have Sawashiro Miyuki, we have Uesaka Sumire. Like, holy freaking shit. This cast is stacked. Of course, I have to mention Call of the Night featuring Amamiya Sora. I heard the animation is really creative and colorful, but I just didn't have the time to watch it. And then also Mob Psycho 3. You know, I haven't watched Mob Psycho at all before. So unfortunately, even though this could have ended up on the list, I didn't watch it because I can't. And so here are the 2 honorable mentions, animes that I thought are pretty good but didn't make it into the list. First of all, we have Boy Kongming, which is a fun anime, but it never really went anywhere beyond that. And then also My Dress Up Darling, which is surprisingly wholesome and sweet and enjoyable. Okay, so here's the top 10 favorite animes of 2022. Let's go. Starting off at number 10 spot, one of the biggest surprises of the year, and that is Cyberpunk Edgerunners. This is one of the really, really rare cases where somebody made an anime out of a video game and it actually freaking worked. Usually when people make animes, video games, usually when people make animes or TV shows or movies adapted from video games, it usually suck major ass. Especially if it's a movie or a TV show. It's a little bit better if it's an anime because it's animated. Duh. And somehow Cyberpunk Edgerunners, an anime based off of the very flawed, full of glitches Cyberpunk game, is actually even better than the game itself by leagues, by miles. And the thing is, this anime is also partially made by Polish people and Netflix as well, so don't expect this anime to be, you know, so full of Japanese conventional anime stuff, which is probably one of the reasons why this anime felt so different and unique than your average anime. Now, that being said though, I would have to admit, I hate to say this, and don't hate me for saying this is a little bit overrated. It is a tad bit overrated. I think the story is a little messy and the characters are not that likable or anything, but even so, I love the character design. The fights are really amazing. I like how this anime brutally portrays consumerism and capitalism, and also the conflict between human nature and machinery and the world of digital everything. So yeah, definitely a very interesting entry here. All right, at number 9, I am giving it to a very underrated, overlooked gem, and that is Summertime Render or Summertime Rendering. Yeah, Summertime Render is nothing all that bold or refreshing, since it is basically ReZero meets the the invasion of the body snatchers, but even so, it is a solid mystery thriller anime with a lot of twists and turns that are a lot of fun. There's a lot of thinking going on. There are a lot of interesting moments that really leave you thinking about things, and it's just a really awesome anime with a very fantastic ending. And it's just sad that this anime is locked in Disney jail, because otherwise it would have been a pretty huge hit. At number 8, I'm giving it to one of the biggest sensations of the year, really, and that is Spy Family. Now, I have not seen the second core because I don't have the time. Maybe if I had, I would have ranked it higher on the list, but judging by the first core alone, I was thoroughly impressed. I think Spy Family is a wholesome, funny, clever, hilarious little slice of life anime with a very interesting family dynamic where the husband of the family is a spy, the mother of the family is an assassin, and the daughter of the family, Anya, the one and only, the iconic Anya, is a telepath. She can read minds. And none of them are related by blood at all. It's all, rent a family stuff like that. Not really rent a family. They're a fake family. They're not real. But that's exactly what makes it so much fun. And there are some legitimately funny moments. I also really like the voice acting here. Hayami Saori as Yor is amazing. And Tanezaki Atsumi, I believe is her name, as Anya is freaking amazing. Like, didn't expect her to play a child this good, but I mean, what do you expect? They are some great seiyus. So there we go, Spy Family. And then at number 7, I am giving it to one of my favorite franchises of all times, full stop. And that is, of course, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 6, Stone Ocean. Now, yeah, I didn't include Stone Ocean last year, even though I rated Part 6, Part 1 an 8 out of 10. And that is because I thought it's part 1 because it's a first core, not really the first part, like the first batch. And if it's a core, I wouldn't include it into the year-end list, because if it's a core, then it basically doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, when the Blu-ray is released, when it is released in the DVD or something, it's still going to be all together. There's literally no point in, splitting cores and considering it separate, because it's just a hiatus in the middle, and that's it. That's why I didn't include Jujutsu Kaisen in my 2020 list, and I did include it in my 21 list because I have to wait for Core 2. But the thing is, unfortunately, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 6 Stone Ocean doesn't work like that. They're not cores, they're batches, because they are released under Netflix, and for some reason Netflix decided to release it in 3 batches. So now it became JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 6, Part 1, 2, and 3, which is really silly. But even so, even though Netflix killed the hype for Stone Ocean, even though it's freaking amazing, it's still freaking amazing. I think the anime is still really great. I love the style. I love the score. The score is easily the top 3 best things about the anime. It's very dark and apocalyptic, and it really fits the tone. I love the voice acting as well. It's really good. Sure, I don't think Part 6 is nearly as good as Part 4 or 2 or even 5 for that matter. There are a lot of fights in Part 6, especially in the middle, like Dragon's Dream or whatever, that got so confusing that I didn't enjoy it. But the last 6 episodes of Stone Ocean are insane. They're insane, and they're some of the best I've seen from JoJo, and really marked its spot at number 7. Alright, number 6, another really popular anime that blew up and everyone's crazy about it, Chainsaw Man. So yeah, I actually finished watching Chainsaw Man not too long ago, and I didn't make a review on it because I didn't have any time. But it's really freaking good. I think Chainsaw Man shares a lot of qualities with Jujutsu Kaisen, obviously, and while I do like Jujutsu Kaisen a smudge more than Chainsaw Man, I still think Chainsaw Man is fantastic. First of all, the thing I love most about Chainsaw Man is how freaking cinematic it is. There are a lot of things about the manga that is amazing, that cannot be translated into the anime, but to make up for that, the anime of Chainsaw Man is so cinematic for some freaking reason. The editing, the cinematography, the shot choices, some of the weird distortion effects they put onto the anime itself, some of the framing, some of the shallow depth of field. This is the kind of stuff you would see in a real life live action movie, but it is placed in an anime in such a tasteful way, and it's just really damn good. I also like the attention to detail and the attention to the craft that Chainsaw Man has, given that every single episode has its own ED. I think the voice acting is great. I love the quirky characters, and this anime is equal parts edgy, gross, and violent, equal parts lighthearted, fun, and wacky, and it's just the perfect balance for a edgy shonen anime. Yeah. Alright, number 5, I'm giving it to one of the least talked about animes of the year, but if you're a Letterboxd user, you know what I'm talking about. Kotaro Lives Alone. Kotaro Lives Alone is an ONA, a network release, and not a lot of people know about this anime. It's rather hidden, but that being said, though, it is one of the most tear-jerking, heartwarming, and powerful animes of the year. And it is slice of life, and usually I'm not a huge fan of slice of life, but there's a certain authenticity and certain heart to this anime that makes it stand out so much. Kotaro Lives Alone is about a 4-year-old kid, Kotaro, who lives alone. And in this apartment complex, he has 3 neighbors, and they basically take care of him. And even though this anime centers around a child, and it's mostly really cutesy and lovely and endearing, this anime also doesn't shy from exploring pretty mature topics, and by that I don't mean like violent, edgy shit. No, mature things like finding a job, navigating around life, trying to live, dealing with interpersonal relationships, dealing with a divorce. But it's all done so in a child's perspective, which makes this anime extra special. And it also follows a similar formula with other slice of life animes, except instead of 3 skits per episode, this anime is 6 skits per episode, so every little skit is kind of tiny. So this is not an anime you would binge watch. It would be really exhausting. So, watch it when you're free. Don't watch it if you're not in the mood for it. And it just really works out when you are in the mood for it. Number 4, I don't know why not a lot of people are talking about this, even though this is literally one of the most talked about things all year at some point. Demon Slayer Season 2. I actually enjoyed Demon Slayer Season 2 way freaking more than Season 1. I think Season 2 is leagues better than Season 1. I love Season 2 even more than the Demon Slayer movie. Season 2 is pure fucking hype. It's amazing. The animation is so colorful and lively. Ufotable. What the heck has you done? Yeah, the animation is absolutely gorgeous. They really took it to another level. Because Season 2 mainly revolves around the entertainment district, so expect a lot of colors, expect a lot of fireworks, expect a lot of flamboyance, and because the entire Season 2 is basically one arc, there is a certain consistency and focus to the new Demon Slayer season that I just don't see in Season 1 or in the movie. Even the movie felt a little disjointed compared to Season 2. The fights in Season 2 are also 10 times more spectacular and fun and intense and exciting than Demon Slayer Season 1. I just like Season 2 on all fronts more than Season 1. And the characters are also even more likable, they're even more well explored, and Kito Akari, who didn't really have that many moments to shine in Season 1, have a lot of moments to shine in Season 2. So there are also a lot of moments of humor in Season 2 that I totally didn't see coming, and that didn't compromise with the drama at all. It all comes together with just one big, gigantic, awesome fighting shonen Demon Slayer anime. Number 3, another anime that a lot of people talk about, and that is Kaguya-Sama Love is War Season 3, or Kaguya-Sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. This is very phenomenal because this overthrew Full Metal Alchemist on the my anime list. I don't know if it's still at the top or not right now. Probably not, but still, insane feat, insane achievement Kaguya-Sama Love is War has achieved. And rightfully so, because the latest season of Kaguya-Sama Love is War might be the best rom-com I've ever seen in my whole life. And I don't like rom-com. That is my least favorite genre of all times, probably. And for a rom-com to be appealing to me is definitely a job well done. But essentially, what happens in Kaguya-Sama Love is War Season 3 is that they really put the war in Kaguya-Sama Love is War. The last 5 episodes, the Culture Festival arc, really put so much time and effort and just sort of this care into the developing romantic relationships between the main characters and really turn it into an actual war, an actual game with a lot of twists and turns. It's just so much fun. But also, aside from the last 5 episodes, there are also a lot of very fun and clever and over-the-top moments in the anime that I really like. Everything with Hayasaka Ai is automatically amazing, and also the rapping scene, it was very crazy, but also kind of funny, and I actually kind of enjoy that. So yeah, definitely one of the most creative, fun, tightly packed, cleverly written rom-coms I have seen all my life, perhaps, and definitely worthy of the top 3. Number 2 favorite favorite anime of the year. This comes at a surprise for me because I only watched this very, very recently, and it's also a slice of life, and I'm not a huge fan of slice of life, but this is something different. And that anime is Bocchi the Rock. So yeah, Bocchi the Rock is about a girl who has social anxiety and she wants to play in a band and she plays guitar, and that's basically it. But this is not your average slice of life at all, because usually the reason why I'm not a huge fan of slice of life is because it's kind of disjointed and you don't really see a progression in a lot of the times. It's sort of laid back, which can be great. There are many other slice of life animes that I really enjoy, but usually slice of life is not my thing. However, Bocchi the Rock basically defies that. It is a progressively building anime where the story continues off of the last episode in a very smooth way, in a way that everything just builds together. The characters are extremely likable in Bocchi the Rock, especially the main character. Literally one of the most relatable anime characters of all times, full stop. Like, it's just amazing. When I was watching Bocchi the Rock, there are so many moments on every single episode where I'm like, oh my god, that's literally me. That's just like me, for real, for real. And I know it's going to be relatable, but I didn't expect Bocchi the Rock to be this relatable. It's just so damn relatable and so damn funny as well. There's so many scenes that made me actually laugh out loud. Like, not even chuckle, like ha ha ha. And that's really, really rare. Usually comedies don't work on me that much. Usually I don't laugh or smile that much when I watch movies, when I watch animes or TV shows. But for some reason there are so many punchlines and throwaway jokes in Bocchi the Rock that's so ridiculous and over the top. There's a scene where the whole anime becomes a 3D blender animation for some reason. And there are punchlines, visual punchlines, where instead of being animated, the animators just went to Google Images and found a JPEG and just pasted it onto the anime. It's ridiculous. It's moments like this that really made me laugh. Like, what the heck? What? So yeah, Bocchi the Rock, very entertaining, very fun. I'm liking the music as well, and it's just really solid. Number 1 favorite anime of the year. This anime may come as a cliche to be placed at the number 1 spot, but I cannot deceive anyone. This is truly my personal favorite of the whole year. An anime that really put me at the edge of my seat the whole time, and that is Attack on Titan, the final season, part 2, because of course the final season is like part 1, part 2, part 3, and probably a movie. But yeah, the final season part 2 is freaking amazing, and I like it even more than part 1. Every single episode is a masterpiece. And I thought it's gonna go bad because manga readers are like, oh, the last few chapters suck ass. So I thought, oh, maybe the story will start getting bad in part 2. Hell no. It's solid 100% all the way through. The fight scenes are really intense and suspenseful and well written. But what really shines are not even the fight scenes, it's the dialogue scenes. It's the heady, information full scenes. It's the flashbacks. They are the stars. They are the gold of Attack on Titan. Again, the flashback scenes, oh my god, every one of them are absolutely devastating, revelating, shocking. Not only do we have twists and turns, but also all twists and turns have such heavy ramifications on the world building of Attack on Titan. It's insane. And the character writing of Attack on Titan is unlike any other show I've ever seen in my entire life. This is some of the best character writing I've ever encountered in my life, and it has impacted the way I write my stories as well. Every single character has their own personal arc, has their own direction in the story, and Attack on Titan somehow doesn't omit any of them, doesn't ignore any of them, and put all of these arcs together in such a well organized manner. And yeah, just episode 4, when we enter the flashbacks, it's just absolutely insane. There's just so much power to these flashbacks. It became my favorite episode of the final season part 2, really. But also just the way the final season part 2 sort of built up to the rumbling and the small mutiny group of Armin's group. It's just insane. The way it all develops, the way it all comes together, and the way the story touches on themes of politics and generational trauma and racism and war and propaganda, the way it touches on topics like this, the way it touches on guilt and shame, it's just so freaking clever and kind of deep. And I've never seen, not only in anime, but also in TV shows, and even if you consider movies, I don't see a lot of cinematic mediums that would reach such a height that Attack on Titan does. So yeah, really, really like. Aside from the OP and the ED being a little mid, and also this poster being a whole mess, I think this is a 10 out of 10 season, and it's my favorite of the year. So, what are your favorites? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.